Hi everyone. Join me in the kitchen again here for a little demonstration as to how I prepare my eggplant parmesan. So this is an eggplant parmesan that I'm gonna be doing. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with my eggplant. I have in here I got 2 eggs that I'm gonna whisk up for an egg wash. I could have done that ahead of time, but no, I didn't. So I'm just gonna be doing that, and then I have here some seasoned flour, and in here I have some panko breadcrumbs, and there's my parmesan I'm gonna be using. I have here some marinara that is pre-done. So for those who are not familiar with panko breadcrumb, this is what it kind of comes in a box that looks like this. Maybe not that if you find it elsewhere, but yes, so it's coming from this package. Not advertising, giving anybody free advertisement here, but that's what I'm working with right now. And some all-purpose seasoning again, and also my secret ingredient. Yeah, so I'm going right into it. I'm gonna just show you it's just a simple step, but it's just a nice way to prepare your eggplant. So I start by slicing them. So I'm not going to use the edge part there, but make them into kind of a 1-inch thickness. And you go slice like that. As much as possible, strive for uniformity. Okay. Alright, and I'll set this aside. Alright, so this is how they are. Normally I like to slice them on a diagonal, but this time I didn't do that. However, that is something you can do when you do yours. So all I'm gonna do here is just kinda so these didn't get too okay. And I'm gonna just give them a little bit of seasoning right on, just because they're vegetables. You still need to, you know, give them flavor, because the vegetables are bland by themselves, but if you treat them well, in terms of seasoning them up properly, then they can be good as your meat. So I'm catering again here for my vegetarian friends, so would want ideas as to what they can do with what. Yeah, so on both sides, seasoned. Yeah, slipping a wrap on, just making sure that they're all I'm doing here, like I said, is this is just to enhance the flavor of the vegetable, and at the same time you're not overpowering it so it doesn't take away from the actual vegetable itself. All right, enough of my explanation here. It's okay. I'm cracking my eggs into my garbage. And let's give this a quick whisk. You don't have to whisk this for too long. All you're trying to do is just incorporating the yolk into the white. With a little bit of water. So this makes it an egg wash and not just eggs. So like this is good enough. And so my order is gonna be here is and at the side, get it out of the way. And then I have my oven being preheated. I'm gonna be using my small oven this time because it's just a little bit of stuff that I'm working with right now. So there's no need to be going with my big oven. That's a waste of energy. Okay, so I go in breadcrumb, sorry, that's flour, and that's the order. Flour, egg wash. Can do 2 at a time. This doesn't look too uniform in terms of the slice, but for whatever reason, it is what it is right now. Okay, so that's egg wash. And what I like to do when I do this is that I do one hand for dry, because if you use both hands in the wet and dry, you find that you get really messy. So right here I'm going all flour, and you want to make sure to get a nice coating in the flour so that it takes on as much of the egg wash. That will help it to keep the breadcrumb on. And yeah. So you dust the excess flour off, and we go right into the egg wash. And then I have here a prepared sheet that I'm gonna be placing them on, as I'm gonna be baking them after frying them. Behind me, I have a skillet going with oil that is getting ready to fry these up. And I could, or you can, do a double dip in the flour just to make sure that you get enough thing there on, but for me, I'll go one. So this is a breadcrumb coating. I'm gonna get as much of the breadcrumb on as possible. And you do that by giving it a pat. You shake the excess off, and then you go right onto your tray. So it's egg wash, into the breadcrumb, and the roll is one hand wet, one hand dry. Or you're going to be walking away every now and again to clean your hands. In the interest of time, you sometimes can't afford to do that. Okay. Yes. Into the wet. Should have done the bigger ones first. Then you have a bigger container stuff to do your thing. You can do as many at a time as you can handle. But I know not everybody on here is at the same level, so it's okay to go at your own pace. And for maximum flavor, you could even add more season to the flour, to the breadcrumb. That is okay. Okay. All right. It's just a repeat of the process. Egg wash, breadcrumb. These have already been floured. And my little oven facing me is preheated at 350. And there it went there. It means it's ready. So it's a little ahead of me. Ooh. 2 more to go after this one. Ooh. My skillet behind me. I'm working as close as possible just to make sure I don't make a mess here of my station. Yeah. Okay, and this is the final one. Put them like that, and the breadcrumb. Shake the excess off. And yes, I'm done with that part of the thing. Now we don't overlap them, we just have them single trade. I'm just stepping over to get my hands cleaned up a little bit here. Move these over. I'm gonna be cleaning that up as soon as I. Yes. All right. So that's that, and that part of it is done. Is moving over to cooking them off. My pan right here is very hot right now, so I'm going right into skillet. And these are shallow fried. You could deep fry them as well. You get the same result. But because I don't want to be wasting my oil, then I'm going shallow. And what I'm doing right now is just crisping them, frying them to golden on each side. And that should be about 3 to 4 minutes. And this is what's going on in my pot here, as you can see. Yeah. So this is just over medium heat. In the meantime, let me prepare my marinara just by heating it up. And I'm just gonna go just a little of it because it doesn't take much. And I'm gonna go heat that up in my microwave a little bit in the interest of time. If you don't have a microwave, it's okay, just use your regular stove top. I just want to get this over with and done as fast as I possibly can, so I'm going in my microwave. Good. And these are nice and golden and ready to flip. What I hate about a flat top. They can go spin around on you. Nice and golden. You just want to achieve the same thing on both sides. And for those that are vegetarian, you could just skip the egg option and go straight milk, flour, and breadcrumb. So if you're lacto vegetarian or you're strict vegetarian, then you can have this dish just by Xing out the eggs and using milk, whatever milk you use, whether it's almond or coconut or whatever substitution of milk that you use, you could use that to achieve the same thing that the egg wash would have done. I'm going right up onto there. Let's go. Put on my plate. And then back on there. this is my first 4 pieces are done here. And it's just a repeated process until everything is done. And I'm gonna layer them back on the tray. But mind you, you could go ahead and just dig in. Ooh, this is hot. You could go ahead and just dig in as it is right now, just as is. But I'm not finished with the. I need to add in my parm. All right. This is quick and easy. Once you get the hang of it, then you're gonna be inviting your friends over for functions, and you could make this as a surprise little element for them. They'll be wondering, what have you done to your eggplant? Ready. Okay. This is done. Okay, so I'm done with the frying process, and as you can see, they're all nice and golden here. And yeah, I'm gonna finish my layer on the pan here, the tray. Put it right back on here like that. You don't want to stop them. Okay, so they're on the tray in single layer, file just like that, as you can see. And now for my parm. So here is the part that maybe sometimes, you know, make people wonder why you go through all this to make it nice and crispy, and then you put liquid on there. But yeah, that's one thing I'm gonna be doing right now, is just a little spoon of marinara on here. And a marinara is preheated, so you don't want to cut down on the cooking process so it cools down and then overcook your eggplant or make it more soggy than it needs to be. All that is happening right now is just a little coat of marinara on top. This is a nice party idea for my vegetarian friends. You want to have your friends over and you want to treat them, you can do this as a surprise thing, and they will love you. They will always be coming back to your party. Okay, so that's that, and you just put on a nice generous amount of parm on there, and what is gonna happen is I throw this in the oven just to enough time to melt the cheese. And I'm going with a little higher temperature, so I'm going with 375, just so it comes out as quick. I could maybe go on up to 400 degrees Celsius, because all I'm doing is melting the cheese as fast as possible before my eggplant gets soggy. Because I don't want to defeat the purpose of my crisping them up. And then, okay, so that's a nice generous amount of parm cheese on them. You can go easier or more if you like more, because I know a lot of people like cheese, but some persons would rather less cheese too. So I'm going into my oven. Into my oven for so let's say 5 to 6 minutes on that. And yeah. In the meantime, let's do a bit of cleanup with the waste stuff. And because my smaller oven tend to be a little slower than your big oven, then yeah, the higher the temperature, the faster your cheese will melt. And you're ready for service. So I'll catch you guys in 5 minutes. So I'll catch you in 5 minutes when my cheese is all melted. And hopefully get a little bit of crust on it as well. So I'm gonna cut this video off, and then I'll come back when my cheese is melted and I'm ready to present it plating for you. So enjoy this recipe. I'll give you the description